There we go. All right. How's it going, everybody? Let's take a look at the charts, see what we got today. Let's see here. How is everybody out there doing with their trading challenge? Now, we are still talking to Apex. I still do not understand the rules over at Apex, and that should tell you something, right? I do not understand the rules, and for the life of me, I just don't understand what they're talking about. So, that's a really interesting thing, right? You want to you want to approach these prop trading firms, and you want to approach these prop trading firms, with the best intentions and get funded, but yet if they make their rules so complex that you can't understand them, um, that should tell you something. That should really tell you something. So wasn't really, if it's kind of like it's kind of like looking at mixed signals. It's kind of like looking at mixed signals on your trend cloud. If I don't see a clear objective on trend cloud, then you walk away from the trade. And if I can't see a clear direction with with the rules of a prop trading firm, I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to walk away from it. I'm just going to have to walk away from it. So yeah, so that was very interesting. That was very interesting. Not being able to understand what the heck the rules were. So if there's anybody that wants more information on that, definitely let me know. Or if you have information on the exact rules of Apex, then please chime in and let me know, because I was talking with Brandon about it last night, and I don't think he could really explain it either. So it's kind of crazy. So if I'm looking at something and if I don't understand how it works and how to follow the objective set of rules that these guys put out, how are you going to be involved with it? You have to understand what they're talking about. And that is a strategy. That is a strategy. Companies sometimes like to make the rules confusing on purpose, just to make it difficult for you, because they're making more money on those challenge fees, and their intention is not for you. Then their intention is not for you, the audience, the retail trader. Hey Gary, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, very, very strange. I even watched a couple of videos on their rules. They actually have videos, for their rules over at Apex, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me watch the video. Let me understand this so I can bring it back to my my Trend Cloud members. And guys, I was just I was just totally confused. I was like, what? Trailing threshold as opposed to a static stop, and I'm trying to understand what they're talking about, and yeah, I don't know. So, for the trading challenge here, and for our purposes, this is to get you guys consistent in the simulator, so that you can take that consistency and bring it over to your live account. If you want to jump into a prop trading challenge, great. Then you'll take that same consistency, and no matter what the rules are, I think those rules the rules that we have introduced for us, I think are really good across the board. You could use those rules across the board because that's going to keep you safe in any environment, right? 2 weeks, 8%, $500 in a day, no more than $500 loss in a day. Yeah, exactly. Let's just make money. Gary's like, you know what? Let's just make money here. How about that? I agree. I agree 100%, Gary. 100%, man. That's, so yeah. So no more than, hey, Frank, how's it going? Good morning. Good to see you. No more than $500 loss in a day. No more than $1,000 loss over the course of the 2 weeks. How about that? Let's just stick to that. Let's just stick to that. Keep trying to make that 8%, and just keep going, So I think it's really good practice. I think it's really good practice. Practice, practice, practice. And that's what it's all about. And this is a great group where you can do that in. You can practice for consistency. I remembered the name of the guy over at Online Trading Academy that his name was Rick. Rick, can't remember the last name, but I did remember the first name. Rick, he was very big on practicing in the simulator. And I remember he was the one who said, stay in the simulator until you're profitable. Then move that over to the live account. I think having a challenge, right, really puts you in a focused mindset. So if we call it a trading challenge or a prop trading challenge, it really puts you in that realistic mindset. And that's what Musashi talks about, right? In the Book of Five Rings. If you haven't read that, that's an amazing book. But he talks about that in the Book of Five Rings, putting yourself in that realistic mindset. And mind you, this is a samurai that lived over 2,000 years ago. So the way he puts it is, the only way to learn how to kill a man in battle is to kill a man in battle. And that's the line that is used in the Book of Five Rings. It's pretty it's pretty intense. But that's what he's saying. There's really no simulation for trading live, right? Or doing battle live. So you have to make it as realistic as possible. And I thought that was very interesting. So yeah, so by saying that this is a challenge and it's only for 2 weeks, and there are a couple of rules, very simple rules, right? You stick to that, and over and over again, every couple of weeks when we reset the chart and do it again, it gets easier. You get used to it more, right? You will get used to having rules, thrown on you and saying, you got to follow these rules, so that if you do want to go ahead and apply, or basically pay money for a prop trading challenge with Apex or FTMO, Top Step Trader, and any of those guys, you will you'll do a lot better. And the rules that we're using here, you can use anywhere, because they're going to keep you safe. Okay, so let's see here. It is a little after 9. Let's take a look at the metals market here. Let's go over to gold. So gold right off the bat, right? Look at this. Hey, Graham, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you, pal. Right off the bat, is this an uptrend or a downtrend on the 4-hour chart here? Trend cloud, it's kind of telling you that this is a pseudo sort of a pseudo downtrend, let's say. I mean, I don't know. Do you call it a downtrend or an uptrend? We're pretty much sideways here, right? Look at that. We are just kind of sideways here. So very, very difficult to choose a side. And as you can see what this thing is doing, let's just move this. Let's do like that. There you go. That's what this thing is doing. Not very difficult to outline, right? It's really not difficult to outline. Just take your, make a green bar and just, where are you going to place this thing? Here? Well, no, let's place this in a spot where you get all the touches, right? Support, 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 support. How about that? Let's put that right there, right? So let's redraw all of this. From the bottom, right? I would say right there. I like that. Green. And here from the very top. How about there? Make that red. Here we go. Okay. That's it. It's as simple as that. Drawing a box is as simple as that. So that's gold. So in this situation, when gold gets up here, you're ready to start looking to go long, and by the time it gets up here, everything has reversed rapidly and is breaking back down to here. That's what's going on. So that type of pattern really throws a monkey wrench into your trend cloud system. The momentum style systems don't work. You would simply just have to take a chance on the top and the bottom here. That's all it is. Do we like doing that? Especially in a challenge? No. What you could do, right, is you would have to wait for this to get somewhere inside of here and drop down to like the 5-minute chart. Go down to the 5-minute. Right? And start looking for breaks of structure, right? So it came in and we broke structure right there. It pulled back. And what did it pull back into? Pulled back into this, right? That's the pattern that we always look for on that lower time frame, right? Came in, broke through structure right there, and then pulled back into demand and slowly climbed out. And it went sideways, and it climbed out and just totally went sideways, right? Now we're just starting to get those trend cloud signals to the upside, right? We're in a downtrend here on that middle time frame, and we know how price moves. We know how price moves. And where did this thing move to? Right here. Slammed right into the 50 simple on the 1-hour chart. Momentum's with us. Both time frames. but you can't deny the downtrend on that 1 hour chart. And that's what we hit. So does it go further? We don't know. So if you got into this strictly off of momentum, you would have to say, where's the next resistance point? And that would be the 50 simple right here. Right? 735 from here to here. That's not very far, is it? Here's your entry. There's your target. Not very far, right? No, there's no asymmetrical leverage there. I was listening to some videos yesterday by Peter Brandt. And Peter Brandt, who's a commodity speculator, and he was saying asymmetrical leverage. I had never heard him use that term before, but that's exactly what he was focused on. So he's very much focused on asymmetrical leverage and looking for that, Is it worth taking a trade when there's only, a short target in the distance? Is it worth it? To him, it's not, right? To me, it's not. I don't think it's worth it. You get very excited when you see stuff line up, though, like that. So, pseudo downtrend with upward momentum on both charts, and we're starting to climb. We're starting to climb on the lower time frame there. And that's that. Copper. Extended trend on copper, right? SM, NVIDIA. We got some stocks. Some stocks hit 700. Oh, let's check it out and see. Let's take a look. What's going on with the okay, so yeah, so see, here's the S&P, okay, and we're clearly in an uptrend on all 3 time frames here. NASDAQ, again, same thing, all 3 time frames. So we have, so do you see, Graham, how we've got strength in the futures market, in the indexes? If you see strength to the upside in the futures market, especially the S&P and the NASDAQ, right? The stocks that are contained inside, of this are probably going to be doing well. So that's that. I would say that it would, is it going to hit 1,000? I don't know, but the strength to the upside is definitely there. So the potential for more upside, I would definitely say yes. And all I had to do is look at the futures contract. So, when you're going to trade stocks or invest in stocks, what is the relationship between that stock and the futures contract? That's what you want to look at. Trade Station Steam. Oh, is that a channel? What's Trade Station Steam, Graham? Trading channel or something. So yeah, definitely more upside there. Cool. Let's see. Copper definitely downtrend, right? Downtrend. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart's going sideways, trying to break to the upside here. Why do you think that copper is trying to break to the upside here? What is the one clue that you're seeing on one of your charts that copper is trying to break to the upside. It's right here. It's really trying to break to the upside of that trend cloud. Why is it trying to do that? Could it have something? Could it have something to do with the fact that the trend is extended on the middle time frame? Perhaps, right? So the trend is extended on that middle time frame. And what does trend like to do when it's in a downtrend and it becomes extended? It likes to break above. Likes to break above that 50 and either recalculate and continue the move down, or break above that 50, find support, and make the move to the upside. That is what this thing probably is looking to do, right? Let's take a look at to the left. Let's take a look at the trend. How about we do this? Let's do like that. See how nicely this thing climbs out, stair steps down, becomes extended, and what does it do? It breaks to the upside, then it pulls back and finds support. Right? And that was the last place that it found support as well, too, and then moved out. So we're coming back into a demand zone where all the buyers came back in. A lot of buyers came in here the last time on the 22nd, Monday, January 22nd. That's when all the buyers came in and moved out. Now it's coming back into that area. So we have a heads up. We simply have a heads up as to what this thing is going to do. Isn't that great? I mean, that's everything. You always want to look for clues, just like watching a bus drive down a busy street, right? And you're watching it. Which way is the bus going to turn? Is it going to turn left? Is it going to turn right? You can predict that by looking for clues, right? Oh, it's putting a left blinker on. Or, oh, there's a detour sign. There's construction up ahead. You know, there's all these little signs that you can look for. This is a sign in trading that we use to look for, you know, potential buyers. And it's that pattern. It's that pattern, right? Break above, break structure, pulls back into demand, right? And then boom, break structure again. So it looks like an N, right? It looks like a lightning bolt, a lightning N. That's what that means. That's the pattern, right? So that's what we're coming back into. You can also, now that was on the highest time frame. You'll see that take place on the lowest time frame as well. Low cycle. Oh yeah, that's true, Graham. Yeah, when commodities are at a low cycle, interest rates, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And it's going to tell you that. Your trend cloud's going to tell you that. It's going to turn, you know, when you're at the bottom of a cycle like this, that cycle will usually be below 30, right? Because we use 70 and 30. It'll be below that 30 line, and it'll start to cycle back up. And you can take a look at interest rates at that time for stocks and say, oh, okay, we're at the bottom of a cycle, starting to come back up. Interest rates came out, or news came out, and said, you know, either good or bad, this is going to give you a heads up on the chart as to where you are. And if the news is good, you can expect this to be the direction, whether, you know, I would say whether good news or bad news. You know, if you're expected on the chart to be cycling back up with momentum at your back and an extended trend, and you're definitely looking for that reversal, and you have good news come out, that's going to be a catalyst for the direction that your cycle indicator is pointing. That will be a catalyst for this blast off. If it's bad news, it's probably not going to do very much of anything, but the direction will still be to the upside. It just, you know, how much force is going to be behind it. Good news, a lot of force. Bad news, probably not a lot of force. So here we've got on the 15-minute chart, right? Look what's happening here, right? Here's your low, higher low, and then it kind of comes back down, retests. But here it is, right? Here, pulls up, break of structure, right there, right? We've got all of this to deal with as well. So, you know, on copper, on the 15-minute chart here, you know, we are looking for some kind of demand zone now, aren't we? Rally base rally right here. Right? Rally base rally on that 15-minute chart. Drop down to the 5. Right? Kind of just going sideways here, but we have broken through structure. 5-minute chart. It's more like here, isn't it? 5-minute chart right there. Pull back into here. Copper's super expensive though. Yeah. Can we make it? We really want that. We really want that whole thing. You'd have to take like a zone trade. Pulls back. That's a far way to go. So we are, you know, we are pulling back up. Remember, we're in a downtrend. So from here, we know that we're going to be going from here all the way up somewhere in here. And look what we've got. Okay. We might be bouncing back and forth. We might be bouncing back and forth here. So if it reaches here, we really don't want this. Let me show you why. If we reach here, we're in a downtrend and a downtrend, right? We have upward momentum, but again, the movement is supply zone, back down, right? And it might not recalculate. It might wick, right? This might just hit this and run, okay? And, you know, maybe it doesn't break through. Maybe it just continues to go sideways like this until it chooses a direction. So you've got to be very careful with that. And we are almost there. We're almost there. So let's see what happens here. Right there. So do you see how you really have to understand how price moves? Price moves according to buyers and sellers, and it reacts off of support and resistance, supply and demand. So you've got to look at that on multiple time frames and be able to set the stage, right? So what you're looking at on one time frame, all of the things that are going to be the same on one time frame are how price moves, right? Price moves a certain way, pulls into trend cloud, impulses out, correction into trend cloud, impulse out, right? See? You can see, right? Look at this. I mean, look how smooth. Pulls into trend cloud, impulse out. Pulls into trend cloud, impulse down. Pulls into trend cloud, impulse down. It does that on every time frame with trend cloud. So you've got that part down. You've got that part down. Now you have to start taking that and applying it to other time frames while looking at this at the same time. You've got to be able to look at multiple time frames all at once, okay? Because if you're in a downtrend on the high time frame, you have to understand that it's going to probably continue to go down because this is a downtrend. If you have a downtrend also on the middle time frame, it makes it even more powerful, right? So then you look at the lowest time frame and you're saying, oh, uptrend. So you've got an uptrend on the low time frame, but you're heading for this supply zone that's in a downtrend on the middle and high time frame. You really have to put that into perspective, right? So we're heading for that right now. Now, this would be a great trade to the downside. This would be a great trade to the downside if we didn't have all this upward momentum here, right? With all this upward momentum, we could get, something that breaks through this and then comes down and finds support, and slowly the trend catches up to the momentum. Timing. Do you see? Timing. So that is the trick of this. And that's where all the confusion comes in. The confusion of this comes in is that's why people are like, how do I don't know which way the trend is going. You do know which way the trend is going. You do know which way it's going. It's just that it's happening on multiple time frames. It's different. It's different on multiple time frames. What you're really trying to say is it's not that you have trouble understanding the trend. It's that you're having trouble timing the trend with the momentum across multiple time frames. That's the tough part, right? So you want to make your charts as visual as possible. You want to make this thing look as visual as possible, and have little checkpoints on your chart to give you direction along the way. That's what we need to do. And so we have all these tools, right? We have ADR checkpoints. We've got the opening range here. And the opening range is showing us, right? This is the 15-minute opening range here on copper. It's breaking out to the upside with momentum. but we're about to slam into some resistance here. We're about to slam into resistance. So, you know, it's what do you take the chance on? You would have to pick, you know, like, oh, I'm going to take it short from here back down to here. Or I'm going to wait and I'm going to take the retest here and I'm going to follow the momentum. You know, you would, or you're going to do both, you know? So, so that's that. You can take a chance. How expensive is it? 287, right? We'd have to do something like this. 287 to short the bigger move. And with all that momentum, so if you wanted to take your two trades, that's what it would be. The two choices, right? The two choices are here to take it back down into here, right? So from here back down to here, and then when it gets here, you would take it long again. That's what you would have to do if you didn't line up. If you didn't line up the information. So the idea is we want to take trades where we've got everything lined up. We've got, you know, we've got the trend and momentum lined up together. Then we take a chance. It's all about reducing risk. It's all about reducing risk. And that's what you got to focus on. That's what you have to build a plan around. You've got to build a plan around something like that. Momentum. Look at the look at your scanner. You can see on the scanner we're getting market sentiment shifting to the upside here. Right? Market sentiment is shifting to the upside. We got more and more contracts moving over to the green column here, right? To go long. We're almost there. Right? We are almost there. When it comes here, when price comes up to here to this 1 hour supply zone, what else will it be hitting? You know, take a look. It's going to be hitting a supply zone. It's going to be hitting a 50 simple moving average on the 1 hour chart. Okay, those are the two things that I see. If you go to the higher time frame here, the 4 hour chart, that's also the bottom part of the trend cloud, right? And what does price like to do? Right? It likes to impulse, correct into the trend cloud, and then move down. So we would be following all of that. We'd be following all of that against momentum. We would be following that against momentum. So, you know, now this is the simulator and we can test it out if we want, right? We could test that out. With all of this momentum, yes, it is pulling into here, but with all this momentum, what could happen, right? Oh, it's working. Bam. That's what could happen with all this momentum. Oh, I guess it wanted to go deeper. I guess it wanted, you know, this 4 hour zone up here. That's what it really wanted. Okay, so do you see how you can get into trouble by doing that? And then, of course, if it works out, you know, you're like, oh, I should have taken it. Oh, I should have taken it. You'll never know, guys. It's not. It doesn't. You know, you'll just never know. So you'll say to yourself, well, what is more important, the trend or the momentum? Well, you've got trend to the downside on multiple time frames, but you've also got momentum to the upside on multiple time frames. Which one do you pick? Much easier to make a decision when you've got trend and momentum on the same side. So that's why we do this. We take trades that have trend and momentum on our side. So that was good. That's a really good conundrum, to wrap your head around, because that's how it works. That's what happens. That's what happens. So always line up trend and momentum together, because in this situation, I'll draw it one more time. In this situation, move up. Hey, it's working. Oh, we were right. Oh, wait a second. Boom. That's because of the momentum, right? That's what could happen when you don't use trend and momentum together. So let's see here. All right, let's take a look. 942. We've almost got now we've got momentum and trend together on the indexes. So why don't we focus on trading the index? Because we have it. Trend up, 4-hour chart. Momentum up, 4-hour chart. Trend up, middle time frame. Momentum up, middle time frame. Great. We're forming the this is the 5-minute chart. Let's go out to the 15. Whoops. There we go. Okay. This is yesterday's opening range that you're seeing here. So up and away on all time frames. Yikes, that looks real messy, doesn't it? My goodness, that looks messy. So we're still forming, right? We got another 2 minutes. Another minute. Exactly 1 more minute to form the opening range here. Okay. We didn't get any trend cloud signals. Very strong trend, right? This would have been nice if we got some trend cloud signals to the upside, right around here at the crossover. Here's a little pullback right here, right? In fact, it pulled back again right into trend cloud. See, it pulled back into trend cloud. A lot of upward force here. A lot of upward force. And it is forming the opening range. So let's stick with this. YM. Same thing, no trend cloud signals. It is there it is. Okay, so now we put in the opening range, and that is just super wide on the Dow. My goodness. There's not much you can do with that. NASDAQ, look at the NASDAQ. Look at that whipsaw on the NASDAQ. Pulled back into this rally-based rally here. Pretty nice. Pretty nice pullback there. didn't break through structure here on the NASDAQ. How about the whoa, look, guys, look at, oh my God, look at the opening range. Look at the opening range here. Look how wide the opening range is. That's just crazy. So this happened very quickly, right? It pulled down right into here. Pulled right into there for that move up. And we really want to see it break through this structure. So we're in a lot of sideways movement. So you see how we're filtering this stuff out? We're really filtering this stuff out here. Micro NASDAQ pulling back down. Is it pulling down into here? Cycling down, momentum is down, right? It's kind of topping off here, isn't it? See, we're just trying to tell the story. We're just making observations, right? We're just making observations. And we're trying to tell a story, right? Starting to break down. So this opening range on the NASDAQ is taking place inside of that high time frame curve where all of this failed, right? All of the sellers came in this area here. All the buyers came in here. Right in here. That's where all the buyers came in. Supply and demand, the difference between buyers and sellers, the imbalance between buyers and sellers. And there it is. Very easy to see. Right? High on the curve. We really need to break through some structure on the curve in order to go long on the NASDAQ. Russell usually makes the first move, and it's starting to break out to the upside. But look where we are, right? That's same thing on copper, right? That was the same situation on copper. We've got a downtrend on the Russell, multiple time frames, but we've got this upward momentum. We even have bullish divergence here. That's pretty powerful. We got bullish divergence here on the Russell. So in this case, you know, we're already at the point. We're already at the point where, you know, on the high time frame, we're inside. We've pulled back into trend cloud. We're going to be getting ready to make that impulse down. We're getting ready to make that impulse down on the high time frame. The context of that high time frame trend. Pretty flat, but at least we have trend and momentum on our side. Broke out to the upside, and we're pulling back. All right. $15-minute chart. 5-minute chart. Previous day's close, very close. Previous day's close is very close to the demand zone here, to this demand zone. Very close to this demand zone here. Looks like it's dropping out of the sky. There we go. Pulling down. Whoa. Looks like a hurricane here. Holy cow. South Florida has got some major winds going on. Let's go back over to copper. What is going on with copper here? Okay, so you can see how copper came in and hit that 50 simple on the 1 hour chart. Extended. So which way is it going to go? Which direction is this thing going to choose? Is it going to choose the downtrend, or is it going to choose the momentum to the upside? Right? It's a coin toss, basically, which is why we need to have everything lined up, trend and momentum. But you can see how it's reacting. It is indeed reacting off of this level. We just don't know for how long. When will it catch the momentum? You'll never know unless you have it all lined up together. Now, silver, downtrend, and starting to cycle down here. Momentum is down also on the 1 hour chart. We have a better chance on silver to go short here. Okay, and we're running into this this demand zone, or this curve zone here. Curve zone on the high time frame. So we're low on the curve here. So we would be shorting into the curve, right? We would be shorting into the curve. Early in the trend on the 1 hour, early in the trend on the 4 hour. Let's take a look at silver on the 15-minute chart here. Look at this. Look at the size of the demand zone here, right? On that 15-minute chart. It's huge. Okay. And looks like, broke out to the upside. And what do we have here? Rally, base, drop. Okay. So it did pull up and hit this. Right? It did pull up, right? So we would consider this a bull trap. Why would we consider this a bull trap? Well, because all the forces are down. Trend is down, high time frame. Trend is down, middle time frame. Momentum is still up on the high time frame, but we're cycling. We were cycling down. See, it's shifting. So we're getting reactions off of this high time frame curve. And you can set, so trend cloud is telling us, hey, that cycling down is starting to end. Momentum is still down, though. We still have a legit strong downtrend on that middle time frame. Okay. So starting to pop up into here. And again, silver, very expensive stuff, right? Pretty expensive stuff. Platinum. Okay, platinum's starting to break to the upside here. Mixed signals, right? Downtrend. Transitioning to the upside on the 1 hour chart, but still in a downtrend on the middle time frame. So go try to pick a direction when you have mixed signals. Very, very difficult. Soybeans. Downtrend, cycling down, breaking to the upside, and momentum is up. Okay. All right. Mixed, again, mixed. Are we just starting? Are we just starting to move to the upside here? Perhaps. Right. Extreme lows to extreme highs. Very skinny looking trend cloud, right? Real skinny looking trend cloud there. When you see that, when you see the trend cloud is like really contracted like that, there's less cushion when this thing pulls back up. When price pulls back up into a constricted trend cloud, there's just less cushion and it tends to break through it. Very difficult. See how it's much wider here? Pulls up into the trend cloud, plenty of cushion, pulls down, right there, and then finally breaks through. And as we're going down here, these pullbacks are making it, you know, really, really difficult to cause resistance. Okay, it looks like we're finding support here. We're finding support on the 1 hour chart. And it looks like this. Pulls up, down, finds support, breaks to the upside, right? And we break through. And that's what it looks like here. So getting a nice rejection off of that. If we start to break, this is a soybean, so we're not using the opening range. But on the, let's go to the 5-minute chart. Okay, 5-minute chart. If we start breaking through structure, right? Or we start breaking through candles here, if you want to be even more sensitive about it, more strict, start breaking through candles, that could be some kind of trend reversal. Very difficult stuff when you're not lined up, right? When it's not lined up, what do we got here? Corn is just in a sideways movement here. Sideways movement as of right now on corn. But look at how clean, look at how smooth that pattern is. Like that's what we want to look for when you're trying to follow a trend. That's what you want to look for. That is the type of pattern that you can really apply trend cloud to. When you start, you know, looking at something and you see those stair steps down and you see that if you can draw a clean trend line, right? If you can draw a clean trend line on something, you can match that with trend cloud, right? So it's just that's the stuff that you want to stick with. Like look at how clean that is. There's your trend cloud signals. So you can look at stuff, whether it's stocks, futures, forex. You can start looking at the trend patterns. Start looking at the trend patterns, and if it's clean, you can really apply trend cloud very nicely to it. And here we are sideways, right? Here is the swing high. Here's the swing low. Okay, all of this in between here is just sideways movement. All right. So what do we need? We need to drop down to the lower time frames. Right? We need to drop down to the lower time frames. Okay, 1 hour chart is still down and momentum is down. Okay. Strength to the downside. This is still coming down. Coming down right into here. Okay. Five-minute. Let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute chart. What do we need to see on the 15-minute chart? Well, we need to start seeing some trend cloud signals to the upside, right? Extended, break to the upside, signal, 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 break back down, wasn't ready yet. So it's pulling back into here. And what you can do is when you're inside of the curve, you can track it on the lowest time frame, right? And you can start looking for this. Pulls in, goes kind of sideways, breaks to the upside. There's your trend cloud signals. That's when you can take a chance on catching this thing to the upside, right? Pulling down. Let's start waiting for some signals here. Wheat. Wow, look at that. Same thing on wheat. Same thing on wheat. From extreme high to extreme low. All right. So we're coming back in here, retesting this area. Retesting this area. I'm definitely going to make a note and start taking a look at this area here. So I want to set an alert. I want to set an alert right there. Crossing down on wheat so that I know, hit an alert there. And then what you can do, you set an alert. When this alert goes off, then you can come over here and set an alert on this time frame for wheat. And you can say trend cloud once bar close, up arrow, right? Right there. And it should appear here. It should appear there. What's going on? There it is. So there you go. So now when we will hit this, then this right here will activate. Or if this, if we get a signal, an up signal on wheat, it means that we kind of started early. We started the party early, right? If this thing does want to climb out of this zone, we're going to know about it, and that's what you look for. All right. So that's about it for today. That's what I'm going to be looking for today. A lot of mixed signals today, guys. So again, Graham, yes. Cup and handle pattern on BABA. Yeah. So listen, if you're looking for classical patterns on these stocks, let's say you're looking, you see a cup and handle pattern on BABA. Well, if that cup and handle pattern is to the upside, right? Thanks, Frank. I will see you later. If that cup and handle pattern is to the upside, right? Go over to the futures contract on BABA. Start looking. If the futures contracts are to the upside, it makes that cup and handle pattern much more powerful. Okay, so just add that to the trade plan, Graham. Okay, so and then put all of that together. So if you see a classical charting pattern like a trend line or a cup and handle, and it is to the upside, look at the futures contract, make sure that the futures contract is on the upside as well, and it'll make that classical charting pattern even more powerful. All right, that's it for today, guys. BABA, yeah, okay, good question. All right, so BABA, if you go to BABA, you have to see what BABA is a part of. Okay, so is BABA on the Dow? Is it on the NASDAQ? I believe BABA is a NASDAQ stock, right? Stocks, BABA. Okay, here, Alibaba. New York Stock Exchange right there. So that'll be on, I believe that's, would that be S&P? It's not a tech stock, so it wouldn't be on NASDAQ. I believe that's S&P. Either way, the flow of the S&P, right, which is 500 stocks, the S&P 500, it's 500 of the best stocks. You would have to look and see, all right, is the overall condition of the market up or is it down? And you would do that by looking at the S&P. If the stock that you're looking at is a part of the NASDAQ, then you would look at the NASDAQ, but now I'm curious. BABA. Is it on the S&P? Look at that. Interesting. BABA is not currently included in the S&P 500. However, this information may have changed. No. Yep. So you can still look at the S&P. You can still look at the S&P for the overall condition of the market, though. You can look at it. So it's a New York Stock Exchange. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. But if you look at the S&P or you look at the NASDAQ and you see the overall direction of the market, that's what these big hedge funds and banks and stuff, they look at that first to see which way the market is going. And if it's going in that direction, then then it makes those classical charting patterns more more powerful. Buy at 75. Is that what I said? Well, then that's what you do. If that's what I said, always do what I say. No. Yeah, that's cool. Do we have it? Did we save it? I think we might have saved it, right, Graham? Let's take a look. Oops, I'm in the wrong thing here. Stocks, BABA. Trend cloud. Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, there it is. There's the crossover on the 1 hour chart, right? Earnings is in a few days. So yeah, if you started accumulating on Monday the 5th, yeah, yesterday, right? Yesterday we got the crossover. Yeah. Chinese stock, I think. Oh, Gary said, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure, but we can still get a good feel for the direction of the market, right? But if you just look at trend cloud on the 1 hour chart for BABA, right? Yesterday, right? We just made the crossover yesterday. Look at all this momentum. We broke above positive 200. So you're in a good, this just happened yesterday. Nice gap up. So yeah, so for accumulating, we are right in there. Just yesterday, it crossed over. You got that crossover right there. Accumulate, right? Accumulate. It's on sale, it's on sale, it's on sale. Accumulate. Pulls back, it's on sale, accumulate, right? 1 hour chart. There's your accumulation checkpoints. Right in there. Ooh, that was a huge gap up, right? So you took some heat, and now it's breaking above. Yeah, looks like BAB is taken off. And if they have good earnings, it's going to go even higher. Ooh, really went on sale here. Extended trend, BAMO. That was the spot to buy, man. Let me tell you. On the 14th, extended trend, crossover, extended trend, hitting some, what the heck did we draw here? Daily. Oh, I see. Okay. Daily chart. Yeah. Daily chart, we're still coming down. We're still coming down. All right. All right, guys. Good day. Good work. Unfortunately, nothing, a lot of mixed signals. So we had to filter out a lot. I will see everybody tomorrow. Keep practicing, draw those lines, try to find some instruments where you're able to draw some really clean lines, right? Impulse up, pulls into trend cloud, impulse up. Keep drawing those lines, and then look at that across multiple time frames. Draw some lines on the daily chart, drop down to the 4 hour chart. Examine where those lines pulled back into. Did they hit any moving averages? Did they hit any structure? Then go from the 4-hour to the 1 hour. Look at the same lines. Did they hit any moving averages? Did they hit any structure? And just keep going down. So start on the daily chart. Draw those lines out, right here. Impulse, whoops. Impulse up, pulls back into trend cloud, impulse up, right? Drop down to the 4-hour. Examine it. Oh, look at that. On the 4-hour, this one impulse made its own little move up. Impulse up, pulls into trend cloud. Impulse up, pulls into trend cloud. What's it hitting? It's hitting the 50 and then moving up. Drop down to the 1-hour. Well, look at that. Look at how it follows that trend cloud. Look how it follows the trend line. What's it hitting? Well, the 1-hour chart is pulling into the trend cloud and pulling up. And sometimes it's hitting that trend line. Just make those observations. Make those observations so that you continue to understand how price moves and how price moves with that trend cloud. Then you'll be able to, your eye will be able to see that on multiple time frames, and you'll be able to make a better decision. It's all about making better decisions. So that is the best practice that you can do. And then just keep dropping down. 15-minute chart. Now the 15-minute chart actually reversed a little bit and then continued the move up and went sideways. You see, it gets more loosey-goosey as you get to those lower time frames. So practice that and make those observations. And that's it. Conviction, yeah, you'll have more conviction when you have a better, more clear understanding of what's going on across those multiple time frames, and you'll be able to make a discretionary, confident decision. You'll be able to make a confident decision. You'll be more confident when you have trend and momentum lined up across those multiple time frames. Then you take the chance. Okay, you'll never know what's going to happen, but it's not your job to know what's going to happen. You don't have to know what's going to happen. If you have trend and momentum lined up across multiple time frames, you don't have to know what's going to happen. Because over a series of trades, it's going to make you money. All right, so you don't have to know what's going to happen. You just have to follow that trade plan. All right, guys, that's it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.